have the data in this particular transaction item, which is the folder name of each employee, then we can proceed further into process transaction and open this. Here we are. There's nothing inside it. So the next step we have to do is we have to go to this particular folder, and these are a few things that we have to use here. So just drag those. First we will try to extract the details from the appointment letter, and then we will try to extract the details from the payroll, and then we will try to extract employee name and email ID from the HR portal. The last thing that we will do is we'll try to append this data to the master sheet that we have. Having done that, if I just go to here, there's no arguments available. But see, if I have to make it dynamic, here there are some operations that we are doing. We are trying to read a PDF file and we are trying to extract data. But this path here is an hard-coded value. But that should be dynamic, right? Because whenever I reach over here to the input files, in Hasta I have this files, and in Jack I have this files. So every time this should change. To achieve that, what we can do is we have to pass the path to this particular thing, right? So go back to this, and earlier we have used some .NET code to retrieve the directories available in this particular input files folder. Similarly, what we will do right now is go back to this, and so we have to get that particular transaction item available outside into this, right? Close this. Yeah, from here this transaction item in which we have the parent folder details have to go into this. Just go to this and change the transaction item from queue item to string. Okay, now there must be no error here. Just import arguments. Yep. So transaction item here. Okay, there's still error because we have to go over to the finally block and we have to make some changes. For now, just disable it so there is no error. Okay, fine. So go into this, and because we have the transaction item, which is nothing but this particular path, now just take a assign activity here, and then folder files list. Enter. And this will be of array of strings. Then here, just go back to this, copy this thing. So most of the code that you end up using in UiPath is reusable. With that knowledge in mind, just go here. But because earlier we were trying to fetch the folders, we have used get directories, but now we are trying to access files available in this particular folder. To do that, we have to be using some other method called get files. Okay, now that's done. So we are trying to fetch the files available in transaction item, which is nothing but this particular path. So this will go here and it will try to fetch the files available in that particular folder. So in the first iteration, so it will have all the values in it, right? Okay, with that knowledge, what we will do is, because right now we have two files over here and this path, so whatever is the path of this particular path should be sent to this, and this path should be sent to this particular flow. To have those paths, we can write a code to get it. Use Foreach and pass this folder file to it, and here you can change the type argument to string, and then for simplicity just try to see what's happening over here if we are able to fetch those names. Item, because every time it is iterated, the value in this will go to this, so this values will be the values that will be available in folder file equal to, it's an array of this particular paths. Okay, the first time it is this comma separated by this. This is how the internal structure of this folder files list looks like. Okay, so for the first time we will get this displayed, and the second time we will get this displayed. Let's see what's happening there. I will try to keep breakpoint right here. Okay, let me try to run it once. Debug file. So it is trying to execute. It has found 4 folders, and then here it is. We are in the transaction 1, step into, and step into. Then as you can see, this is the folder thing that the appointment letter path that we have. And next if you look through it again, and this is the payroll doc. So now as we have got these details, we have to pass the respective file paths to this and this. For that, now we have to write something else. Because we are getting the paths from this, we have to segregate them. Take an if statement and if. So whatever we were receiving this particular thing in the message box. So this particular item will have this, right? To receive the name of it, so we know that if a file name has appointment letter in it, it's an appointment letter file. If it has payroll, then it is related to payroll declaration form. So with that knowledge, what we will do is we'll try to get the name of this file, leaving behind extension, and then we will check if it contains appointment, this particular file, then it is appointment letter, and if this file contains payroll in it, so we can conclude that it's a payroll file, right? So to find the just name of it, we have a formula called path dot get file name without extension, and then pass the file name to it, dot to lawyer dot contains appointment. Okay, So with this we know that if it contains appointment, it's an appointment file. Appointment file. So assign that particular path to this. If it is not appointment letter, so it should be payroll, right? In that case, just remove this and have payroll file. Just give the name to it over here. Okay, so what we have done is we have tried to fetch the files available in each folder that we have as an transaction item, and then we are trying to fetch the files available in that, and by using Foreach we are trying to iterate over this particular list and trying to get the appointment letter path and payroll assigned to this, so that we can further pass this to this and this. Once that is done, let's see if we are able to fetch those details correctly. So these elements are not available outside, so let's increase the scope of it. Process, change it to string. Okay, appointment letter plus VBLF to make the difference, to introduce a new line, and then payroll. So by now we know that the first thing that will be displayed in message box is appointment letter file path, and the second is payroll file path. Okay, now let's go back and start with the debug. Okay, we have 4 files, as we know, 4 folders basically, and here we are, step into, and see, this time because it's an appointment, it should go into this particular thing. Okay, here it is. So in appointment letter we have the appointment. If you just observe, in appointment file we have the appointment file path. Okay, similarly in the second iteration it will move to the else part, and here we are. So it's out of that because there are no more files available in it, and here is the path of appointment letter, and this is the path of payroll declaration doc. So from here we can pass those files to this and this respectively. Stop it.